Wonderful. And again, I see a couple more people joining. So for anyone just hopping in, thank you all for joining. You'll notice that you are muted. We are going to be keeping everyone muted just for the duration of the program until we open it up for the Q&A at the end. And as you will probably notice on your screen, we are recording and live streaming the start line, just so that we have it for anybody who isn't able to join us live. We also wanted to take a moment here to thank our sponsors that you see on your screen for supporting this year's Jim Tracy 5K to Defeat ALS. We really couldn't do it without them. Some, like Upcycle Builders, have been with us since the beginning, and then we actually had a lot of new sponsors this year who were joining us for our second virtual Jim Tracy 5K, which was incredibly exciting. Shout out to our sponsorship subcommittee for getting all of these amazing sponsors. All right, and we are going to be getting started with the official start line in just a moment. All right. Good morning, everyone. My name is Keisha Johnson. I am the Assistant Director for Team Challenge ALS here at the Golden West chapter. Welcome to the 7th annual Jim Tracy 5K to Defeat ALS start line. Thank you all so much for joining us this morning, for being a part of this community, and for showing up for the ALS community and showing them that we will never give up. It has been truly incredible for all of us here at the Golden West chapter to see so many of you, so many people rally and come together, especially with this past year being what it's been. So thank you all so much. I wanted to take another moment to thank our sponsors for this year's event: Upcycle Builders, Clayton Timbrell and Company, W.L. Butler, Hoka One One, which we'll be talking more about in a bit, A Runner's Mind, Blue Bottle Hydration, and Equator Coffee. We really couldn't do what we do without our incredible sponsors, so thank you to all of them. I also want to take a moment to give our amazing Jim Tracy 5K student committee a huge shout out. This group of San Francisco University High School students have worked tirelessly to make this event a success, which was no small feat, being in our second virtual year. So thank you all so much from the bottom of my heart. Albeit silent because you're all muted, but an applause for our incredible student committee. Awesome. This morning, you'll be hearing from our student event chair, Layla Salentic, as well as the Golden West chapter's Chief Operating Officer, Sherry Strahl. But before I introduce our guest speakers, just as a reminder, after the start line is over, we are asking that you participate your way, whether that's a run, a walk in the rain, roll, a ride outside, or on a stationary bike, a hike, whatever it is you want to do. The important part is that we are all showing up today for our ALS community. And this is super important. When you're doing whatever it is that you decide to do today, please take a photo or a video and post it on the social media channel of your choice. Tag also Golden West and use the hashtags Jim Tracy 5K, Never Give Up, and Defeat ALS. And all of those tags are in the chat for your reference as well. I also wanted to remind everyone about this year's Event Week challenges. So listen carefully and hear how you can get the chance to win any pair of Hoka shoes that you want. They have running shoes, both road and trail, walking shoes, spikes for any of you track athletes out there, hiking boots, and more. They really have anything you can want. And there are 4 ways that you could win. So the first is super simple. Our overall top fundraiser for the Jim Tracy 5K is going to win a pair of Hoka shoes. The second is our event week challenge top fundraisers. So the two participants who raised the most during event week, which doesn't end until 4 p.m. today, will win a pair each. The third is a participant fundraising drawing. So during event week, for every $100 that you raise, your name will be entered into the drawing to win. And finally, we have our first ever donor drawing. So for every $20 that somebody donates, they don't have to be a participant, their name will be entered in to win a pair of Hoka shoes as well. This one is really special because as a participant, you can get your name entered into this drawing by making a self-donation of $20, but you can also use this challenge as a fundraising tool, especially today being event day. So reach out to your friends, family, neighbors, anyone on your track team, cross-country team, anyone you know who may want a new pair of shoes, and ask them to simply donate $20 before 4 o'clock today, and they'll be entered to win. We will be pulling the winners and announcing who won just after 4 o'clock today on social media. We will also email and call our winners to let them know. And of course, winning a pair of amazing Hoka shoes is a huge plus because they're awesome. But the real reason we know you're all here today and participating in the Jim Tracy 5K is to raise critically needed funds and awareness for our ALS community. So thank you all again for being here and for participating in our second virtual Jim Tracy 5K to defeat ALS. Those are all of my reminders for today. So without further ado, I would like to introduce this year's student event chair, Layla Salentic.
Hi, everyone. As Keisha said, my name is Layla. I am a senior at San Francisco University High School, and this year I have the honor of being the Jim Tracy 5K Student Event Chair. Everyone who participates in the Jim Tracy 5K and any ALS Association fundraising event has their own unique why. Perhaps it is a friend lost years before to a tough battle with ALS, or a colleague recently diagnosed with the disease. Or maybe it's just the chance to get out and about and run, walk, or bike with some friends. For me, that why is my grandmother, my Uncle Steve, and my Aunt Sue. My dad's side of the family has what is called familial ALS. So this means that there is a gene mutation or gene mutations that cause ALS that are passed down from generation to generation. Familial ALS has cost the lives of both my grandmother and my Uncle Steve, my grandmother in April of 2010, and my uncle in December of 2018. In 2015, my Aunt Sue was also diagnosed with frontotemporal dementia, which is a fatal disease caused by the same gene as ALS, but affecting the brain and memory rather than the body. Today, I run for them, my aunt, my uncle, and my grandmother, my why, and with the hope that my leadership in and fundraising for the Jim Tracy 5K has helped get us one step closer to an ALS-free future where no one else in my family or in the world will have to battle or lose a loved one to this awful disease. And I do believe that this ALS-free future is near. Today, there are more scientific projects investigating potential ALS and neurodegenerative disease treatments and cures, which have moved into phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3 research studies than ever before. With these incredible advancements in research, there is no doubt that an ALS treatment or cure is on the horizon. However, this research requires a lot of funding, which is why your participation in donations towards and fundraising for ALS events like the Jim Tracy 5K is so important. So from all of us on the committee, all of us who have lost a loved one to ALS, and all of us who know someone battling this disease, thank you, thank you, thank you for your support of the Jim Tracy 5K to defeat ALS and for helping get us one step closer to defeating this disease. Before I pass the mic back over to Keisha, I have a couple quick reminders. First, it is not too late to fundraise. Event Day is a great day to send out those last emails to friends, family, colleagues, teachers, and anyone else you know asking for donations. Any donations made and fundraising done before 4 p.m. today will count towards our Event Week donor and fundraising raffles and those top 2 Event Week fundraisers, as Keisha said. So make sure to reach out to all those people and let them know about those fundraising raffles. And maybe you'll just win a pair of Hoka shoes. Right now, we've raised a little over 32,000. And I'm sure that if you guys all do those last fundraising pushes, we could get to 40K by the end of today. Also a reminder that we love when people do post-event fundraising. So if you haven't hit your fundraising goal yet, you still have time. We always do a couple extra weeks of fundraising post-event. Second reminder, echoing Keisha again, please post pictures of yourself out and about doing the Jim Tracy 5K your way on Instagram and Facebook with the hashtags NeverGiveUp, Jim Tracy 5K, and Defeat ALS, and tag ALSA Golden West and jim.tracy.5K. So we can try and connect participants and bring as much of that community event day feel to today as possible. Lastly, for those of you in the city, we will have a handful of masked and socially distanced Jim Tracy 5K committee members cheering on runners and walkers at the Pioneer Log Cabin at Stowe Lake in Golden Gate Park. So if you are in the area, make sure to run by to see their encouraging faces, posters if they have some, and wave hello. Again, Pioneer Log Cabin, Stowe Lake, Golden Gate Park, run by station, wave hello, but please do not linger just for COVID safety reasons. And that's all about all the reminders I have. So again, thank you for participating in the Jim Tracy 5K this year and for joining our Start Line Zoom. After so many months of preparation, it means the world to me and to the committee to see all your faces here today. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and pass it back to Keisha.
Thank you so much, Layla. We are so grateful to you for taking on this leadership role as the event chair and for sharing your story here today. So thank you so much. I would now like to introduce Sherry Strahl, Chief Operating Officer for the Golden West chapter of the ALS Association.
Thank you so much, Keisha, and welcome everyone. Thanks for being here this morning. It's inspirational. It's wonderful to gather together as a community. And I want to take a minute to thank our Rockstar chapter team from Team Challenge ALS. We've got Asher Garfinkel, Cliff Whitlock, Keisha, of course, Jillian Wallengren, and Taylor Tinsley. We also have from our Care Services Department, Kathleen Kelsey, good morning. And from Marketing and Communications, Jenica Lancy, Megan Fisher, and Gabby Ramirez. And a huge shout of gratitude and congratulations to the Student Organizing Committee, led by Layla. Layla, you're an inspiration, and also led by the faculty advisors at San Francisco University High School. So much gratitude to all of you. This is the 7th year that we have celebrated the life of the beloved Jim Tracy. And to say Jim was a great coach for his students doesn't capture his influence. He inspired them, cherished them, cared for them, fought for them, challenged them, and created an environment for them to be their very best selves. And his leadership and hard-won insights motivated his students to excellence as they made plans for their future. And these values and qualities helped build this enduring legacy of not just Jim's efforts, but that of the youth leadership of SFUHS. And over the past 7 years, each of these youth leaders, many of whom are here today, I'm talking about you, you have left your mark. And together, these students' efforts have become a really powerful engine of impact, a vehicle for positive change that will long outlast your tenure in high school. And all of these students together have created this culture of philanthropy and a call to action for others to give back. It is this ongoing legacy of leadership through this event that's helping the ALS community and fueling the mission of the Golden West chapter. Now, our mission is to discover treatments and cures for ALS and to serve, advocate for, and empower people affected by ALS to live their lives to the fullest. And we are the only ALS organization fighting this disease on 3 fronts: comprehensive and compassionate care services, advancing public policy, and funding the most promising global research, all of which are essential to our vision, which is to create a world without ALS. And everything we do supports the search for effective treatments and cures. So since the start of this pandemic, we've worked nonstop to ensure continuity of our chapter's care services for people impacted by ALS. And we've transformed that service delivery model using online technology for support groups, for virtual home visits, consultations, educational webinars, social gatherings, and all of this, of course, offered free of charge for people living with ALS and their loved ones. And our ALS advocacy efforts continue as we work with legislators and families impacted by ALS to fight for critical public policy priorities like extending access to telehealth, increasing funding for research. And Layla already mentioned that this is such an important time in ALS research, and there are more ALS clinical trials and scientific projects globally than ever before. The funds you are raising will be reinvested to power the Golden West chapter's ability to provide the ALS community with access to professional care management and community outreach services, multidisciplinary clinical care, support groups, loans of vital equipment, educational events, and to accelerate ALS research and advance important public policy initiatives on behalf of the ALS community. And this is all just a little bit of what you are a part of. The Jim Tracy 5K to Defeat ALS is a call to action, to care, to connect, to commit every year until there are effective treatments and cures. And your legacy is how you have shown up in the fight against ALS. Our deepest thanks to all of you. It truly is only together that we will defeat ALS. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Keisha.
Thanks so much, Sherry. And thank you again, Layla. We would like to end this start line with a video that we hope will bring some added inspiration to you all before getting out and participating your way today. So some of you might recognize the 2 people in this video, Anya and Chris of Team Chris from our last in-person event in 2019. If you were there, you might remember that Team Chris was our largest team that year, all showed up in matching Team Chris t-shirts. They were very memorable. So without further ado, please enjoy.
My name is Chris Ortia, been participating since 2019, 2 years. First time we were there.
Yeah. And I'm his wife, Anya.
Yeah, I got that done in October of 2016.
We had noticed some things that were changing with his left leg.
Yeah, my ankle, my leg.
We went to one doctor and she had done this surgery and said, no, it hasn't fixed what she thought it was. And it was either MS or ALS, and then sent us to the ALS clinic. So they have to rule out so many different things, which they did. And then we were diagnosed in October of 2016.
Other than the ice bucket, I don't think people even know what ALS is.
Yeah.
People joined the ice bucket. They were doing it, but they had no reason why. So for me, keep people aware of ALS.
We just need to create more awareness, more money, more funds, more research, more people to get in on this, collaboration, just to have everybody involved in just the community spirit of why we're walking for Jim Tracy. So I want to do something this year, whether it's virtual or not. It's still in collaboration. I'll know in the back of my mind that other people are doing the same thing. I just encourage anybody that can do something to just get up and do it, because there's others that can't. So I think we'll just continue to do what we can, when we can, and however we can do it. That's really it. Why we keep doing it is because even if it doesn't help Chris, it will help someone else. And we just have to keep thinking and moving forward positively.
One way or another.
Yeah, we'll do whatever we can.
Never give up.
We're not.
Exactly.
Wow. Amazing. We hope that that video brought everyone just a little bit of additional inspiration for what we're doing and why we're all here supporting and fighting for our ALS community. So thank you again to everyone who joined us today for this virtual start line for the 7th annual Jim Tracy 5K to defeat ALS. We are so deeply grateful for each and every one of you. Before we open it up for a Q&A, we are going to take a group photo, just like we would at our in-person start line. Being virtual and being on Zoom can't stop us. So if everyone could take a moment to turn on your camera. We do have a few pages of participants with us today, so it might take a minute to capture them all, but try to smile the whole way through. So if we're ready, everyone smile. All right, sweet. Thank you, everyone. We are now going to unmute everybody and open it up for a Q&A just to say hello, share how you're participating today. So give us a second, we'll unmute everyone.